Yeah.
You were literally the one asking questions.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Anime Club. We're talking about stupid shit.
My name is Shin Kazuma, and I'm an ace pilot.
God damn
Go,
that trailer.
Shinji, get in the fighter. Go, Shinji, get in the fighter.
That's just pure cringe.
Top Gun Shin Kazuma, everyone.
Top Gun who? Tom Cruise better look out.
So we watched Area 88, specifically the TV anime, not the OVAs. There was a pretty big difference, downright to the fact that they have two completely different endings, to my understanding.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So we did. So the original OVA was a set of 3 movies.
Yeah.
And those were produced by Studio Pierrot from 1985 to 1986.
Yeah.
However, I do believe they were condensed to 2 episodes for English release. So 2 movies for English release. Even though there were 3 in the Japanese release, because one of them was only 55 minutes and one was 48.
So they merged the middle movie into
I think they
first
merged.
two.
I think they merged the first 2 together.
But that would only be on release because I've seen it on streaming in 3 parts.
Yeah, yeah. But the anime TV series is 12 episodes.
Yeah. And this came out much, much later after the OVAs.
But ratings first. Ratings first. So
Vorn, why don't you go ahead this time?
it's your anime. Came out of the random hat. You put this in there.
I'm trying to figure out what my rating for this should be. I do like the show, but do I like it that much? Is my conundrum right now.
Make a decision.
Make a decision.
All right, move on to Ralph.
You know what?
We'll come back to you.
No, I got it.
Oh, okay.
It's mid.
It's mid.
So is that a meh?
So that's a meh. So that's a
meh.
meh. So that's a meh. The mid is a meh.
Yeah.
All right then.
Realm.
To be honest, I'll give this one. I'll give this one an approval. I like this kind of stuff, honestly enough. So,
Well, we're on to me. This is going to be, knowing what I know going in, this will be a very unexpected result, I think. I'm giving this one a meh. I recognize the value. This show's not bad. I think the actual storyline's there, but I don't know. It just doesn't. Anime-wise, military anime, they have a hard time with me. They can succeed.
86 is proof of that.
I've been pretty consistent on this channel with things like Yojo Senki and my bemoanments of the second half of 86, for better, or deserved and undeserved. I'm not going to be that mean to this show. The show, I see where it's at. I think it's just a combination of being the military genre and its age really have a hard time hooking into me, if I had to say that. I will get into it later, but there's one episode that I think was fucking fantastic, but we'll get there later.
I mean, so we all just have to acknowledge that, Vorn and Knick Knack are just categorically wrong. This show is one of the greatest things I've seen this season.
Come on.
I love this with such an undying passion in my soul.
Come on, where's your American spirit?
Yeah, where's the... we watched this during the same week that for the first time in 50 years, an American NASCAR stock car was put in the 24-hour Le Mans race and actually did good. Where is your sense of patriotism? The American car dropped a transmission, was down for 2 hours, and still maintained its place in the race.
Now, I don't know about you, but I don't like them exporting my American culture to foreign countries. I don't want this Japanese bullshit. My American media needs to come from here, the U.S. of A. from hard America, middle America, not Canada, not Mexico, not Japan, definitely. It needs to come from America. Yeah. Fuck Arslan.
Speaking of, shout out to Heroic Legend of Arslan, also set in just a random Middle Eastern country with the same name.
We aren't here for this commie shit coming out of Asia.
Oh god damn! I think we're going.
I feel like the phrase for watching this show was "Good Morning Vietnam" in more ways than one.
Oh yes.
I love this with such. This had such a fucking grip on me watching it. And that was for many reasons, which I guess it's not really spoiler for me to get into here, but so I grew up watching NCIS and JAG. And recently, my mom and I watched Top Gun, so we could watch Maverick when it came out. So I watched Top Gun. I watched Maverick. Then we proceeded to binge the entirety of JAG. And just so you guys know, that's Judge Advocate Generals. And it is an American drama produced by Donald P. Belisario, who does specifically American military TV dramas, of which he has like 15 of them, right? And they kind of cover all aspects of...
Can I make an admission here that might get me flayed online?
What?
I watched Top Gun Maverick. I loved it, by the way. I've never seen the original Top Gun.
I hate you.
I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm actually in the same boat here as Nick Neck. Never seen the original. I just saw the remake.
I'm gonna bury you two out back. Anyways, but so like JAG and then NCIS, right, which is like another, and because JAG and NCIS both deal with the Navy, then they also, you know, just happen to also deal with a significant amount of like fighter planes piloting and kind of air force, not air force, but air combat. And then add that to kind of everything else I've watched, because Donald P. Belisario, I think, does have another series about Air Force specifically that I've seen a few episodes of. And so I recently started on another rewatch of NCIS because I'm taking a forensics class, and we were doing like some lectures about body decomposition and stuff like that. And I was like, oh yeah, this reminds me of like NCIS. So I'm just going to watch NCIS while I do my lectures. So, like, I have been in the most ungodly military procedural kick recently, and this tickled every bone.
Oh, boy.
So I love this with such a fucking passion.
I think for Area 88, though, for me, is that I do like it. The thing is, there are better things.
Homie, this originally came out in the 1980s. Nothing can bring me down. I love this.
I do have to say, for the 1980s, the animation was not bad at all.
I watched the 1980s movies for fun.
No, this is not
Oh, sorry.
from the
No,
1980s.
We'll get into
manga.
that. We'll get into that in a second. But I actually did go and watch the 1980s movies for fun. And they were fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Sorry, I caught myself there as soon as I said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this in such a blasphemous way. I would have fought for this in the season rankings if we had all approved this. I would have done what I did with fucking Almaloy and fucked the entire order to get this up there. So now we can get into some technicalities. So this manga came out from 79 to 86. And I'm going to preface that because I'm going to make a comment about the manga in a second. Is that this manga was one of the 3 mangas that were the first to be published into the North American market by Viz Media.
Yeah.
Literally one of the first 3. One of the others was The Legend of Kamui.
Yeah.
Like, this was a big thing, right, when it came out. And so it had the movies that came out in the 80s. And then this TV series came out between 2004, January, and March. And this was supposed to be like a CG animated, updated version of the movies. The movies were done by Studio Pierrot, but this was done by Group TAC. And Group TAC is like a Japanese animation and computer graphics studio located in Shibuya that does stuff for like movies, shows, commercials, and kind of just touches on like little bits in just about everything. And so I went to look up to see if they've done anything else I know. And I have heard of some of these things. They did go defunct in 2010. Oh. They were sold off after they were broken down. But they did Black Blood Brothers. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but I definitely have. Just for reference, I'm going to show them a picture of what Black Blood Brothers looks like. But it's actually pretty well known in terms of the kind of anime. They also did Nanami-chan, Arashi no Yoru ni, Alice Academy in 2004 at the same time. Captain Tsubasa Road to 2002. That's that soccer.
Soccer.
Yeah.
Soccer one.
Yeah. Grappler Baki.
Okay.
Back in 2001. They worked on a few episodes of Superman the Animated Series in 1998 with Warner Brothers.
Makes sense.
Yeah. They did some work on Street Fighter 2 movie.
Interesting.
Back in the 90s.
Considering how bad those movies were regarded.
But that's a live action movie. I don't know what they did.
Yeah.
They do computer graphics and CG.
Yeah.
Like they are specifically
Oh, no.
CG.
So they CG'd Goro or something in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No, that's Mortal Kombat. I don't know. Blanca? Blanca's Street Fighter.
Yeah, so they're not like
They probably did
they're not
CGs for the
necessarily.
Hadouken.
They are not an anime studio per se, but they work on behalf of. It looked like from what I looked up, they kind of work on behalf of large TV studios that want to produce a more CG'd version of something.
They're a support
or need
studio
CG
more
scenes.
first
Yeah,
and foremost.
but this anime was done entirely by them. It looks like.
Not bad for their first anime.
It might not have been their
Not
first,
their
but it's
first.
definitely
Yeah.
early.
For one
Yeah.
of the few anime they've done.
Definitely early. Anyways, I think I'm actually going to end up reading the manga for this because the manga is critically acclaimed.
Yeah.
Both for its accurate representation of aerial combat and the planes that they're using, and also for the interpersonal character stuff. So I'm definitely going to read the manga for this.
It's very hard to find. Have fun.
I'm sure I can find it pirated.
I actually feel like I might have enjoyed the longer.
Tortuga is my friend.
I feel like I might have enjoyed the manga a little bit more than the anime because the anime, this is all condensed into like 12 episodes.
Yeah, but
Whereas-
it is 23 volumes in the manga.
That's less than a volume an episode, or more than a
It's
volume an
not
episode.
finished.
It's not. This does not cover
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
the manga does.
Oh.
Totally. So the manga actually resolves the entire storyline by the end of it. But the manga is divided up into missions, right? And across the 23 volumes of manga, there are 172 missions represented that are told across it. And then those were later collected into wide volume mangas, of which in the wide format, there's only 12 volumes. It fits into 12.
It's
The
unfortunate
larger
that this
volumes.
series ends so early then, because I feel like more time with the characters would do this series a lot of good for me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the characters, there being such little time to sit with these characters, and they don't really do. This is not a very character-driven show, especially early on. Later on, more so, but early on,
Yeah.
I don't think it's very character-driven.
There's also, I will say before, because we don't want to get into characters and story yet.
Yeah.
We are going to move on in a second. I will also say I did look up the SNES game, the side scroller that was made for this and released into English. It actually looks pretty good. We were watching it before we started recording. It's not terrible for a 1980s, 90s SNES side scroller.
Yeah.
You know?
It looks like a side-scroller shooter. It just,
It looks
it's
fun.
there.
And apparently this also has some connections to the Ace Combat series.
It does. There was a
It
crossover
kinda
in
does.
2014 with Ace Combat where you could acquire all the main characters' planes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So opening, ending. I loved the opening. I loved it.
I mean,
Yeah, it does actually have that weird beat to it. I like that.
It reminds me very much of like the JAG opening or like the NCIS opening. I loved it.
this probably has more nostalgia beat going for you, Seki, but it just didn't hit the same way for me.
I gotta be honest. I'm here with Realm. Though the ending, I did find the ending like monologues amusing just for their existence.
The monologues were pretty
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Like it's so like these pirates were.
Yeah. These are their stories.
Yeah.
Very SVU opening.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I loved it. Fun fact, did you know that apparently the Stargate opening has lyrics?
Huh.
I saw them the other day. They're awful.
Oh my.
It feels like this opening.
Wait,
It feels like if someone took this opening and then put the ending lyrics over the opening. It's awful.
All right. Well, do we have anything else here in the production side we want to go over, or in the general non-spoiler stuff?
I think that about covers it for me, honestly.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, we'll go ahead and move on to the spoiler section. So we'll see you next time. Remember to like, comment, subscribe.
Try harder, everybody.
Thank you, Realm.